lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and with me I got my co-host Dylan. And once again, we're here for some more comic talk. You know, the usual shenanigans we always get into here. Let's talk about Future State. This is now week 4.
Damn, 4 weeks of Future State already. Crazy.
I know.
I'm kind of sad that we're like halfway through. It's like it's been great. I've been enjoying it.
I know. I like that we're kind of like adding some new stuff to talk about. So it kind of like I don't know. It's making me excited to read the Future State books because I know that every Saturday you and I are gonna fucking sit here and talk about them.
Yeah.
And I would say
except for the stuff that I chose not to read, but yeah,
which is fine. You know, I'll take one for the team. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad to, you know, especially because like I professed myself a DC diehard, so I'll be the one to suffer through the bad books. But
wait, you know, before we get started, I haven't read it yet, but I wanted to know if you read this yet.
That was one of the books I brought home early, so I had that since I've almost had it sitting here for 2 weeks. Tuesday will be 2 weeks that I've had it. I don't know. I want to sit down when I'm caught up with some other stuff because that is like a heavier read. But I have it here. I just haven't read it. I heard it was good.
I heard it was good too. I'm probably gonna read it either today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, before we get into Future State, I want to say like we got some love, dude, from a creator last week, which was kind of cool. You know, Tim Sheridan, dude, saying it was like one of his favorite podcasts go to. So that was kind of cool to hear. I don't know how you felt, but
it kind of made me feel like I'm doing something right.
it made me. Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. So we're not just sitting here talking to ourselves and nobody's listening. You know what I mean? Like,
but either way, if no one was listening, I wouldn't mind doing it anyway.
I wouldn't mind either. This is, to me, really, at the end of the day, this is just an excuse to talk comic books with one of my closest friends. So if nothing else, like, I have fun talking with you. Do you know what I mean? Same. So, yeah. But anyways, enough of that. Let's start off with a book that I'm sure that you loved just as much as me, and that was Future State Aquaman. That book, our boy Brandon Thomas.
What's up?
One of my favorite writers. Real quick shout out, you know, that the Excellence hardcover that's coming to Kickstarter. So anybody listening, if you like this book, you haven't read Excellence, go pick that up. Kari Randolph on art, Emilio Lopez on colors. I mean, it's I think one of our favorite Image books, hands down.
Just take my money.
Dude, if he's got a sketch tier, I might have to get myself a birthday present. You know what I'm saying?
For
like they're dropping.
Kari?
I mean, they're
the homie Kari, bro.
Kari's doing fucking sketches. I want a Kobe sketch. I've already asked him, so that's what my sketch would be. It might be Spencer with Kobe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how expensive it's gonna be. So
or Spencer in a Kobe jersey.
That'd be cool too. Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, we're talking about the Aquaman with Brandon Thomas on script. We got Daniel
Sampier.
Okay.
Sampier.
The artist Adriano Lucas is the colors. Clayton Cowles, letter.
I was thinking about doing a YouTube video where I just like mispronounce creators' names and then just be like a 3-minute video, just me mispronouncing like just a bunch of people's names, like Olivier Coipl.
We should do that. We should just go back and we should do a video where we go back and forth. You say a name, then I say a name, and we just back and forth. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people would watch that shit.
Yeah, like Giuseppe Camuncoli.
I know. It's
like remember with that like Kari Randolph is Carrie Randolph.
I mean, that's a fair assumption.
It's a fair assumption. It is.
But it's Kari.
It's Kari.
Yeah. And Kari did the variant cover for the Aquaman book.
Yeah, I didn't pick that one up, unfortunately. I wanted to.
But then I wanted to make sure we had some on the shelf for the customers.
Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't read Imperius Lex. Like we only had one copy for the rack. Everybody else is just pull listing, like, which is surprising because I don't know. I mean, Superman doesn't seem that popular in our store.
Hey, we'll talk about it, dude, because that book was funny. Well, let's talk about this because this is just absolutely phenomenal. We get 2 time periods here, which is interesting. We get Jackson Hyde while I would say he had just become Aquaman, right, in the past. and that was kind of cool. And then we see Mira and Arthur's kid as like
Andy.
a teenager, Andy. Yeah. I don't know about you, dude, but the concepts in here are fucking dope. Like this, like that page,
the one ocean, dude, like that connects all time periods and dimensions.
The confluence, bro. That page alone was just breathtaking. The colors and the space, like it was really cool. Seeing like just the banter between Jackson and Andy, it was awesome. Like we've never seen these characters together before, right? Andy's a baby in current continuity.
Yeah.
So like to see this in like
her book where she made her first appearance as a baby is specking so hard right now. No, we like before, like maybe like a couple of days before the Aquaman freaking feature state came out, we got like I'd say about 12.5 phone calls asking if we had like what was it, Aquaman 56 or 57 or something. Like it was crazy.
I know. It's sometimes the specs are just fucking weird. First appearances, like I mean, come on, dude. Yeah, but like Andy, I loved. Jackson is fucking awesome. Like he was created by Jeff Johns during the Brightest Day era at DC. Yeah. So I think he's been kind of underutilized in my opinion. And like, but like when we open it though, that one's further in the future. He's fucking badass, dude. Like
he's definitely come into his own. Like I will say that because my first experiences with Jackson was in was it Young Justice, I believe.
Oh, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that like progress, like as far as him as a person progressed, like in the younger timeline. But then, dude, but the older timeline where he's like old man Jackson, yo.
Yeah, I want to read this ongoing, dude. I really upset. I think this might be the first book. Like, I want to see Williamson's Justice League, but like more than anything I've read, this is the book that I wish was continuing.
Yeah.
I wish I could continue the adventures of like Jackson and Andy and like, dude, like there's so much you could do. Yes, there's so much, dude. I mean, like going from world to world, different Earths, different planets. I mean, dude, the possibilities of what you could do with this, like, and Brandon Thomas there's something about the way he writes his characters that I just absolutely love, dude. And you can become attached to them right off the bat. And I think that that's very evident with excellence, right? Like, I mean, Spencer, like, I was like, dude, I'm all in. After issue 1, it would become one of our favorite books. And then, like, now Brandon Thomas is one of my favorite writers. And I feel like I really, really hope that he's going to have an ongoing book. Because, like, so far, his Future State Outsiders.
Killed it.
Right. Favorite story in the next Batman series so far. Like, between the mains, all the 3 other backups, like, his Outsiders was the standout. I mean, dude, just, like... And then the scene with Andy, what she has to do when she's getting trapped to make sure Jackson... I was like, what the fuck?
That was crazy.
I mean, I'm literally gushing over this book, dude. I know. I sound like total fanboy right now, but like this book is just amazing. And then you see like when Jackson, like he's trapped and he's looking for Andy, she's missing. And then when he finds out that she's still alive, you know what I mean? And like he fucking realizes how to escape from where he's at. Like those scenes, dude. Yeah. I mean, holy shit. That final page, bro.
what I love is just like the mystery of time here, because like you don't know exactly how long Jackson's been held captive, or just
there's no way to know.
Just been separated, because like in the earlier timeline he still has his blonde hair, but then like as his older timeline goes, there's no the dye is gone. It's all black dreads.
I'm glad. So, I hate the blonde. The blonde bothers me. I've never liked that. I never understood it. I just. Thank God for old man Jackson.
I'm glad he kind of got rid of that too, because what it reminds me of it reminds me of Meteor Man. Remember the Golden Lords? How they just all had blonde hair, but it looked like it was spray painted on. Yeah, kind of like Cisco. Remember Cisco back in the 90s?
That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Cisco in an Aqualad costume, and I'm like, you need to get rid of this shit, dude, please. But I mean the art.
You didn't like the thong song? Everybody loves the thong song.
I mean, of course. Yeah. Let me see that thong. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome to everybody listening too, in case you don't know the thong song. That's a little sample for you. Yeah. But
That's beautiful.
yeah,
That was beautiful.
You're welcome. The Aquaman book was my favorite book this week. Daniel St. Pierre, his art, that's a chef's kiss right there. The coloring on this,
the coloring was phenomenal.
I mean, just
coloring.
because like you're showing different worlds. Like the cover, dude. That cover is just out of this world in terms of like what's going on the cover.
I like the utilization of like the sun. The sun like is like one of my favorite parts of like the coloring.
Like the sunset
and the sunset and like dusk and like when that thing is jumping out of the water and like the sun is coming from underneath it. That's a great utilization of sun there. And like being in California, we get to experience a lot of that. So seeing the sun in the ocean is like very like integral part. So of like being in California. So like whenever like artists capture that, I'm like, man, you guys got it. Like you guys understand the oranges and the purples and the light shades of possible browns and like, oh, so good.
Oh, this is A plus, my book. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever you want to call it. This is the. Yeah.
Since we're talking about art, let's talk about my boy here, Ben Oliver.
Oh my God, I love Ben Oliver's art, dude.
Ben Oliver.
We don't see it enough.
We don't. I mean, I follow his Instagram, so I see a lot of it. And you guys follow his.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about in comics. I follow all these artists.
Yeah, like Ben Oliver. Like, there's something like real, and you can feel the fabric of the costumes he draws.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see the texture in the faces that he draws. Like it's all apparent throughout this whole thing. Like, putting eyeballs in the back of rats' backs, that's pretty crazy. Like I don't know know whose idea that was. If it was Gene or Ben, but
how about the transforming of the faces, like from human to animal, like just the progression of that was pretty crazy. Like you see the like little goat boy or the ram or whatever in the beginning, but the reason that I was excited about this book, as much as I love Ben Oliver, is Gene Luen Yang. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of his writing. American-born Chinese, fantastic. Dragon Hoops, one of my picks for 2020. I did a written review. I still want to do a video one because like I want to give as much shine to that book as possible. And then of course another pick, Superman Smashes the Klan. Like that's another awesome book that he wrote. I mean, he's just a fantastic writer. He's also writing Shang-Chi at Marvel. So he does a lot of good work, man. And he's going to be writing Batman Superman, the ongoing.
I'm with
March. So I added that to my poll before he wrote this book, or before I read this book, and this just made me more excited for it. He's bringing back like some old concepts. What do they call the false face society?
Yeah, false face society.
Like that
Mr. Toad, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Like like these are old concepts, and I love that he's kind of doing like what Jeff Johns did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when Jeff Johns was like revitalizing old concepts in the early 2000s, and now, but Gene Luen Yang's doing it in a different type of way, where he's bringing in obscure stuff and not necessarily revitalizing it, but just like, oh, look at this cool concept that nobody's done anything with. I'm going to bring that back. And he's not really changing it. He's kind of just like literally bringing it, and now it's just in modern
and adapting it to the current, the bigger picture. He's adapting it to the bigger picture, which is dope. Like, I mean, I love when writers bring back old obscure villains, which is why I like, kind of like with Chris Cantwell's Iron Man.
Oh, Unicorn. He brought
back the Unicorn and just a bunch of the oldies. Like stuff that we haven't seen since like the cartoon in the 90s. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and it's been fantastic. I love the introduction. It gets people more familiar with like the mythos of certain characters, and as well as like DC's long and crazy history of crazy random rogues, like Mr. Toad. Like, Batman has definitely had his a lot of altercations with like a lot of storybook stuff, like the Mad Hatter, right? Mm-hmm. So then we get Mr. Toad, who's also it's a very much a storybook thing too. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. And then this story, the story is albeit short and sweet. It really. I mean, I've always loved the contrast between the two of Batman and Superman. I've always loved the contrast between the two, especially when you put them in an issue together. Like it's so apparent.
Not
But
everybody gets it either.
Yeah, not everyone can get it. It's either too contrast or not contrast enough. Right. That's why I like the Super Sons when they were doing Super Sons, because it was miniature versions of them, but even more extreme because they were kids and less, not mature enough to deal with the differences. Right.
Right.
But
right,
this
right.
is like two grown ass men who just can't deal with it anyway. But they make it work. Like,
yeah, I mean, he has their voices down so well.
Yeah.
And
I especially
like
the scene when they're in the alley and the guy's trying to light something and Superman's like pew with his laser eyesight, and the guy's like, glad I could help, and Batman's like, dude, we're supposed to be discreet here. You're just gonna your stupid red cape just flocking around everywhere.
Yeah. I know the dialogue is something that Gene Yang is really, really good at. It's always a standout when I read something of his, is the dialogue that he puts into his characters, the voices, and he really has a grasp of natural flowing dialogue. And then you pair that with an artist like Ben Oliver. I mean, dude, that's again home run. And then I think Ivan Reyes is joining him on Batman Superman. So I mean, come on, bro. That book's gonna be another hit. I guarantee you. I think it's gonna be really good. He's bringing in some like old 40s villains in there, so like
man, see,
yeah,
they all 40s villains talk like that, like Al Capone.
Wise guy, eh?
Wise guy, eh?
But
they all have sharp chins.
Yeah, I really, like I said, I mean, I really recommend this book as well. I recommend anybody that if you pick this book up and you liked it, make sure you sign up for the ongoing, because you're just going to get more of the same, except it's going to be, I feel like he's almost using Golden Age versions of Batman and Superman, so I'm not really sure how that's working out. If you look at the cover and for March, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. Yeah, so far, those are my two favorite books of the week.
I just like how Ben Oliver always uses like the most simple suit. Like the most simple like Batman suit. Like some of his best drawings, like some of the stuff that I've seen, it's either Dark Knight Returns Bruce or classic blue and gray Bruce or all gray Bruce. Like I don't know. There's just something about like the way he portrays it.
And I like the less like I like the sleek version. I don't want it super like it doesn't need to be realistic to me. It's a comic book. Like I would rather it be the sleek version, not all bulky and fucking all these like arm type things on them. I don't like when they add all that shit in. I like the way he drew Superman and Batman in here has just like a very classic but still fresh modern vibe to it. It didn't feel like dated. It didn't feel too classic. It just felt exactly as it should be.
Did you see the nod to the old 90s animated Batwing? I love this thing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of the old Batwing.
I mean,
that was like the one animated series vehicle that I owned, like as far as like the toy goes. And dude, like for as long as I could remember, that thing stayed in my possession until like into my teens. Like it sure was the coolest shit ever.
I know. I kind of want to like they redid them. Like the DC line, they made the Batwing.
Yeah, but
I really want those.
But they're crazy expensive.
I know.
Like they're like
I know.
When we were kids, we thought $35 was expensive, but $60, $70 plus for like a freaking Batwing. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
I can't justify that.
I don't.
I can't justify it.
Yeah.
Let me win the lotto, and then I'll buy all our viewers a Batwing.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Speaking of Batman, let's jump right into Dark Detective. Mariko Tamaki, Dan Mora, once again, you're just killing it. You're killing it, and my anticipation for their Detective Comics run is getting higher and higher as the days are going on.
So before we start, I just want to say, like, a lot of the Gotham centralized stuff, all the magistrate stuff, I get a whole Neo Tokyo Akira vibe. Like, it's pretty crazy. It's like Neo Tokyo or like that Japan that's in Ghost in the Shell. Like, there's a lot. You know what I mean? It's this is like a Gotham reimagined, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, dude. I'm not. It's like they took the neon glow of the Batman Joel Schumacher movies, but they're doing it better. You know,
They're doing it right.
Yeah, they're doing it the right way. They're not. It's not fucking stupid with glow in the dark paint on people's faces and the gangs and stuff like that. You know, so
And don't forget the beautiful one-liners of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody chew. Everybody.
Oh my
chew.
god, that movie is so bad. It is so
but,
bad.
but for the novelty of it, that movie is great.
I mean, I'll watch it. Yeah, I don't think I've watched that movie in probably over 10 years. It's been a very long time since I've seen that movie. I just won't. I mean, I like Batman.
It's been a very long time since
Forever.
I've seen
I like.
Old. I mean, I still think Batman Returns is one of the greatest Batman movies ever. But you know, that's beside. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Anyway,
so,
back to this.
Yeah, Dark Detective. I really like because we're getting like now it's like fleshing out more of what happened, how Bruce got to where he's at, Peacekeeper going after him. Like I really want to know who the fuck Peacekeeper 1 is. It has if it's not somebody we know, I'm gonna be pissed. I feel like it has to be somebody like we've talked about. Like how else would they know he's Batman? Because that was the goal. It wasn't just to kill Bruce Wayne. It was like we got to get rid of Batman.
Yeah.
Right. But they came at him.
How he escapes death, dude.
Oh yeah, how he like gets into the water and he throws up another dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Gotta love Gotham, bro.
I mean, look at that. The dead bodies like they helped him out, dude.
It's like the dead bodies in MacArthur Park. Like you just hear legends of it, and then
yeah. and then the house he's living at with this like foil fucking conspiracy theory guy and like he fucking.
It's funny. I love how at the end it's the guy with the tinfoil hat. That's right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love this guy. I fucking love. And then how he goes his name's Jeff, right? Bruce is like that's his alter ego. He's got the whole basement, and he like blocks himself off. So this is like his own mini little bat cave, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of digging. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that he's got this like he's no money, he's on the run, he's got whatever he can fucking basically accumulate, and it's just I'm interested. I want to read more of this Batman, dude. I feel like this is kind of where Tynion's Batman is leading, because he doesn't have money, right? And like this is like even further along with him without money. How many years has he been without his wealth? How many years has he been without his bat toys and stuff? And like he's kind of had to reinvent himself and create this whole new life, dude. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
No, I 100% agree. And the art is, look at this, look, fucking Akira vibes, dude.
Yeah. I know, dude.
Dude, like, I mean, I'm a fan of Dan Moore, regardless, but this is some next level stuff. Like, it's so crazy that, you know, we always talk about Dan Moore should get like, you know, like a big title, and he's finally getting it, and he is not faltering on delivery.
I mean, this dude's like fucking pulling out all the punches, dude. He's perfect for like a Batman book. Like, I wasn't sure how his art style would mesh on a Batman book, but I'm here for it, dude. And like, you know, more on that Peacekeeper, like Bruce still doesn't know who he is. How long has this dude been around? How does the world's greatest detective not figure out who this guy is? Which leads me to believe that this has got to be some sort of a mastermind to be able to keep your identity secret from even Batman.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, we haven't seen Damian yet.
That's true. We have not seen Damian.
We haven't seen Damian yet. You know, you heard it here first, guys. Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne is
Peacekeeper 1. You heard it here first. I said it.
So good. So I really love this arc. I can't wait for the next issue. I'm glad that this is a 4-issue series. I wasn't at first I wasn't sure if it was going to be just a 2-issue or a 4-issue when we went over issue 1. I wasn't paying attention to the solicits, but yeah, let's talk about Red Hood, dude. Joshua Williamson, one of my favorite writers in comics, and then Giannis Giannis. I mean,
Milo Giannis. He has 2 Giannis in his names.
Well, isn't that pronounced Giannis though, or whatever? Dude.
See, this is going in the video too.
Yeah,
this is going in the video. Mispronouncing creators' names.
Yeah. Jordi Belair on colors, Troy Peteri on letters, and let me tell you, I mean, I think we were talking about it before we were recording, dude. The art style different than I get in DC. This totally had indie vibes.
Yeah.
100%. Manga influence for sure. Red Hood story in here. Oh, dude, I love it, dude. I want again, like this is another story that I want more of. I
Yeah.
want and like that's to me one of the cons of Future State is like if we don't get to see some of this stuff played out or get to see some of these creative teams like pick up on these threads because there is some cool shit going on here. Like
Yeah, no.
Red Hood is working with the fucking
with the magistrate.
magistrate. I mean, he's hunting down vigilantes.
Like
Like what
literally
the fuck?
vigilante. Like he literally caught vigilante.
Yeah. I mean,
Talk about throwback.
and then he's in a relationship with fucking Ravager, Deathstroke's daughter. Like this,
Yeah.
you know.
I love the dialogue between the two, even though like Tim doesn't really say much. I mean, Jason doesn't really say much.
Yeah.
But friggin', it's all Ravager just talking shit. Yeah, that's why we get along. Daddy issues. Bruce was not my dad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really like. I don't want to say too much about that because like I went in blind, probably like you did, and I think like a lot of us did with the backstories.
Yeah.
But if you're not there for the Bruce story, the Red Hood story, I mean, is just as good, just as good as the main one. I'm very pleased. Like these 3 books we've just talked about, like are all excellent in my opinion.
Yeah, like through and through. Like I said, like the art in this is awesome. I love the new mask design for Red Hood. It looks like he's crying, but but it's dope, dude.
Yeah,
but it's so dope.
It's really awesome, man.
I would love to see some of these creative teams like do like a series or something or some kind of mini together going forward.
I want this artist on a. Like I want to see more of his art. Like I want to look him up right now. I'm gonna look him up and add him on Instagram.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. But like these. I mean, the fact that it's vigilante, like the symbolism, that Red Hood caught the vigilante is fantastic. Funny because you really haven't seen the vigilante since like the late '80s, right?
I mean, well, he's been around, like a couple miniseries, but yeah, I mean, like.
Nothing kind
of an obscure character. Kind of wasn't expecting to see him in the book at all. I really, really enjoyed this book. I do. Before we continue talking about stuff that we like, let me get this out of the way. The Legion of Superheroes book.
Please,
I'm not gonna bash it. I wasn't reading Legion prior to this, so maybe I don't have context. I feel like it could be cool. It's a dark It's kind of like a dark future of something like somebody was a traitor to the Legion, and kind of
always a traitors, dude. Always a
kind of a ramification of what comes out of that. You know, like the art by Riley Rossmo was good. I don't know. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't want to. I'm not gonna sit here and bash it. It was my least favorite book of the week. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to not be completely like what I did with Flash, where I said that book was trash. I won't say that about Legion, but yeah, like it lost me. Like I couldn't really get into it. Like I was reading it so I could like briefly talk about it or at least have an opinion on it, but it just really didn't grab me. Maybe if you're reading, maybe this is more for you. I don't even know that there's a Legion book post Future State, like there's no solicit in March, no solicit in April for a Legion book, so I feel like Legion's going to be shelved maybe for a little bit, not 100%.
Yeah, I mean Legion was never like high on my radar anyway, so I just chose not to read it, and like it's has nothing to do with anything. It's just like some people don't like Iron Man, so they won't read Iron Man.
Right. Yeah.
Some people don't like the X-Men, so they won't read the X-Men. So me, I have no interest in the Legion, so.
I love the Legion. I like the characters. I've read quite a bit of the Legion books in the past. Mark Waid did an awesome run, and then they did stuff for New 52 that was kind of interesting as well. Jeff Johns reintroduced them in his Superman run. So I like Legion. The new version that Bendis wrote, I just couldn't get into, and so maybe that's probably why I didn't enjoy this. But yeah,
you know what surprised me though this week? Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad surprised the hell out of me.
I have 2 books that surprised me. That was one of them, and then I'll finish off with the other one. But Suicide Squad was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I really read the Suicide Squad story. I didn't read the Black Adam story, but I read the Suicide Squad story, and holy crap! Wow. Let me just say, throughout the course of history, of like me reading DC, there's been one constant. Amanda Waller is a beast, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Amanda Waller is a beast. Like in any iteration, whether it be the cartoon, whether it be in comics, whether it be Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad movie, she was the best part of that movie.
She is just as ruthless as Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, and she has government backing. She's government sanctioned to be a ruthless Hellcat, dude. It's crazy. I love Amanda Waller.
Oh, I love Amanda Waller. And in here, I could not have expected what was going on in this book. Like, you look at the cover and I'm like, oh, what is this? Just a dark Justice League? But then you learn who each character is, and I was like, oh shit, okay. And then that's Connor Kent, Superman. Like,
Connor.
I mean, I was like, how did she get him? And like, there's that one line that she says, which talk about ruthless. She's like, I need more of the Luthor side of you.
Yeah.
Not the Superman. And I was like, dang.
Enough of the farm boy stuff.
Yeah. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, damn, you ruthless bitch, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Amanda Waller, bro. She's a monster. And I'm here for all her monsterness.
Yeah,
because if you're gonna take any guilty pleasures in any character, it's Amanda Waller, dude. Amanda Waller will not hesitate to blow your head up.
No, I mean, she fucking says it. I'll fucking blow your head up right now. You know what I mean? Like, and she'll say it. Yeah. And I don't want to say who each of these characters are, like, but we learn who they are. But I will say this though. It's interesting that they're on a different Earth. I was not expecting that, which leads me to believe that my earlier theory that maybe not all of these are on the same Earth is a possibility.
Yeah.
None of the other books have said they're on different Earths, except this one. Yeah. But it leads me to think that like that is somewhere in the realm of possibility, is that some of the books we're reading aren't necessarily all taking place on the same Earth. Like the Batman stuff obviously is. I would say the Superman stuff probably is because they mention stuff, right? But not all books mention each other. But
it's great.
Robbie Thompson, dude, great writer, man. Javier Fernandez on art, Alex Sinclair on colors. I mean, I like Javier Fernandez's art. He was the artist on Nightwing when Rebirth launched. So a huge fan of his work. This is a cool Suicide. I kind of want to see this team. I'm more intrigued to read the ongoing that's coming out in March as well, because if this is a taste or an example of what we can expect of storytelling, I'm in.
I'm really looking forward to Infinite Frontier. It's great. Like I love all the ads for like the different Infinite Frontier books that's coming out. Like I'm super excited for the Wonder Woman Infinite Frontier, whatever. Like it's gonna be crazy, dude.
Apparently that Infinite Frontier book is going to be huge in terms of what's going to be in it. And
the first Infinite Frontier book, Infinite Frontier Zero or something?
Yeah, and how it's setting up the DCU going forward. I read an interview with Joshua Williamson. 2 days before that interview posted, I asked him if he would be down to do another chat to talk about, Robin. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like and maybe anything else coming up. And he's like, why don't we wait till after Infinite Frontier drops? And I was like, okay, something in there's, I mean, obviously he's writing a lot of it, but obviously there's going to be something in there that he's probably going to be working on, right? Like it's going to tease another book that he's doing. I'm assuming. I mean, he said he has like 5 books that he's going to be, or 5 projects at DC that are in the works. So
wow.
I'm assuming that there's going to be an announcement in that book of something he's going to do or something he's bringing into the book. So that's why he wanted to wait. And then that interview dropped, and just like all this information was coming out about what the book's going to entail. I'm so happy DC is doing what they're doing. I fucking was so pissed for months about DC, and like now I have like there's like a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And like and we're getting closer to that light is how I feel. So.
No, this is great, dude. This is it kind of gives me like little feels of like being excited for a Marvel title, because it's kind of fresh, it's kind of new. I'm not saying that Marvel is always fresh and new, but like sometimes some of the concepts they bring to the table as far as what their stories entail are something we haven't seen. For the most part, it's kind of regurgitated and recycled, whatever. But there are those instances like I haven't felt like this. I haven't felt this excited for like something DC. I haven't felt this excited for like an event like this since the coming of the Desk of X. the Office of X and how they're kind of changing the paradigm for just the X-Men titles. I feel like this new team, these new creative groups are kind of shifting the paradigm of DC. And I'm here for it. Like I told you last week, like I have more DC titles on my poll than I have of Marvel titles.
I have so many polls right now. My poll list, like, it doubled. I was at like 25 and I'm at like 50. But there's like a bunch of one shot. It's the future state titles, which 10 of those are going to drop off, right?
Yeah,
and then a bunch of one shots that are going to drop off. But yeah, I added Catwoman, Nightwing, Action and Superman, Flash, Justice League. That's it for now.
But we don't know what's going to happen after Infinite Frontier.
Right. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on DC right now. I'm really liking what they're doing. I think they're doing some fresh stuff, bringing the fresh creators. And speaking of fresh creators, Jeremy Adams, who wrote the Black Adam stuff, he's going to be writing Flash in March. I know you didn't read the Black Adam. What was cool to me is they're in the 853rd century, which was the DC 1 million event that Grant Morrison did in the late 90s. Like, that's what this is tied into. So, like, if you didn't read that, you may not like really care or like recognize the characters. I knew every single one of this Justice Legion A, which is what they're called. So like that was kind of cool to see them do a nod to that era, which you can obviously see these are fans of like 90s, right? That are writing this story. It was pretty cool.
Our age writing stories because they were like, I feel like a lot of this stuff, like, like even bringing in Vigilante and the Red Hood stuff. It's like, oh, we haven't seen that. Look, it's Vigilante. Like, you know what I mean?
Joshua Williamson is our age. He's right around our age, so he's a fan of all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's no surprise. Like a lot of the nods come from stuff that 90s kids specifically remember.
Yeah, but the Black Adam story was kind of cool. So I think you should read it. I definitely think you probably won't have context for those characters, but I don't think it's
I only know character designs of the 1 million characters. That's as far as my knowledge for the 1 million.
It's just really cool to see where Black Adam ends up. Where he ends up, and
I flipped through it a little bit. He looks like The Rock.
He does look like exactly like The Rock. I mean, it's clear that they were making him The Rock. They weren't trying to hide it. But yeah, I think the Suicide Squad book, again, another book I recommend. I think you guys should check it out. And before we get out of here, briefly talk about Superman versus Imperious Lex, because I know you didn't read it. This was the book that surprised me the most, more than Suicide Squad. I don't want to say I had no interest, but it wasn't a book that stood out to me like that I wanted to read. Again, thank God we're doing this where we read every book, because I probably would have missed out on some cool shit. Mark Russell, Steve Pugh, but basically Lex has his own. He wants to be part of the United Planets. He's separated from the United Planets, and he wants in, and he like makes this. He makes this like not appeal, but he makes this request, and the humor that entails. Mark Russell is known for his satire and his humor and his stories, and I don't want to say too much more, but it's really fucking funny. I highly suggest anybody that's a fan, even a little bit of the Superman stuff, to check this out. This is the book, like I would say, like much like Superwoman surprised me, and then I forgot what last week I was surprised about, but this book is hilarious. It's Lex had to leave Earth to get away from Superman. You know what I mean? Like
he just couldn't take it anymore.
He just couldn't take it. So he goes to another planet and he takes over the fucking planet. And he's now the ruler of this alien world. And he's the only human on it. But it's really funny. I think you should read it. I know you will. But yeah, I think people should check it out. It's a funny book. Really, really funny. Right. If you want a good laugh, read Superman versus Imperious Lex.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah,
but like I said, I couldn't get a copy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I have one. I know we don't see each other, but if you somehow make it out here, I'll let you borrow my copy. But dude, yeah,
how crazy LA County is right now. I don't know.
Well, everything's open now, so everything's open. Everything's open. The restaurants are open now for outdoor dining. People are, Lauren already dealt with a Karen yesterday. That was quick. Day one.
That was quick. Day one.
So
I love it.
But anyways, Future State, again, another awesome week, another solid week. Very excited for everything moving forward. I'm excited for all the books. Next week we got Swamp Thing back. We got the Wonder Woman. We have the outside.
We're getting a lot of issue 2s.
We have the outsider story in the next Batman. That's the only thing I'm excited about in that book. And then we got Flash, which I'm not really too keen on. The Superman of Metropolis, Harley Quinn. So I'll probably
I'm down for second. I'm down for second issue of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I'll probably read the first issue of Superman of Metropolis since I have to read the second one to talk about it because we didn't really discuss number 1, 2 in depth since I hadn't read it. So I'll pick it up. I'll read it.
Yeah, let me tell you.
I know, you don't need to. But yeah, so that's another week of Future State. Hope you guys check out the next few weeks that we got. If you haven't seen the first few episodes that we did, check those out as well. Because Future State is an awesome fucking DC initiative right now, and we both highly recommend it.
Cool. All right. Well, if you're not already following us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. You can follow Dylan at The Dillbot on Instagram. Make sure you throw your comments or suggestions down below, or you can also email us at thecomicloungepod@gmail.com, and make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.